Hello friends, welcome to JavaFx GUI tutorial. Here we are starting a new sub-series to learn about the layout managers. So we already used pane in our previous examples. So if you want to know about pane, watch the previous video. And in this first part, we will use the BorderPane as well as HBox. So these two layout manager together achieves the effect as you see here. So our window or primary stage is managed by BorderPane, and in the BorderPane we add HBox. So BorderPane is one layout, and BorderPane manages the controls of primary stage. And inside BorderPane we will be having a HBox, and HBox manages controls in horizontal direction. And if you see in our example, we are going to add two nodes inside the HBox. So that's what we are going to do in this example. Just like border layout manager of AWT, JavaFx BorderPane arranges the control in 5 placeholder location. So in AWT we represent these 5 locations as north, west, east and south, or north, south, east, west. Then center portion we will specify it as center. In BorderPane it will be left, right, top, bottom and center. Alright, so in FX BorderPane, if you want to set a component inside a specific location, say for example to set a vertical scroll on the right, one can use the setRight method. Right means this is the direction. Say this is how the BorderPane is represented in JavaFX, and these are all the placeholder location: top, left, bottom, right, and this will be the center portion. So here we are talking about vertical scroll bar, right? Usually vertical scroll bar goes on the right hand edge. So you can create a component and use the setRight method to add a vertical scroll. So it occupies the entire right edge. Alright, HBox, so that's about a BorderPane. HBox in JavaFX places controls horizontally. That means it's a box, right? We can say it will look like that, like this HBox. Inside you can place whatever control you want. Let's say this is a button, a checkbox, an option button, and if you see, these are all the components, right? And these components are arranged horizontally like a box. So this is one box, second box, third box. So HBox in JavaFX places controls horizontally. When you resize the container, HBox try to diminish the size of the child node. Let's say this is the size of the HBox, and let's assume you placed 3 buttons and there is some empty space. So when you try to diminish it, the HBox try to diminish the size of the button. You see, so if after some point, if it is not possible to diminish the button size, then the button will be hidden. Say for example, if the size is like this, the button is diminished to the maximum extent, it can show only 2 buttons, then only 2 will be shown and 1 will be hidden from the HBox. So that's what we meant here. When you resize the container here is HBox. HBox try to diminish the size of the child nodes. Sometime if it is not possible to diminish the node, then the control or the pane, we can say here it is a HBox, the control will be hidden. Sometimes if it is not possible to diminish, means it's not possible for the HBox, for the pane to diminish the control, then it will hide the control. We will see that when we go to the example. To add control, get the observable list, just like what we did with the flow pane. You can get the observable list by making call to get children on the HBox. You will get observable list, then to the observable list or the control one by one. In all our previous example, we used flow pane. Since we are changing the root pane, we start this example with code snippet 1. That means a sample 6.1. So first we create a BorderPane and we name it as bpane. Then we set this bpane to the scene. That means the BorderPane will act as a root node here. Then to the primary stage, we are setting the scene. The start method will receive this as a parameter, right? So that's what the start method gives us, and from here we do our build up. So to the primary stage we set the scene, and to the scene we already supplied BorderPane, and we will build the relation going forward. So we know that BorderPane will have 4 locations. So in one location you can add only one control. So we previously saw it, right? There are 4 locations: top, bottom, right, left and center. So we already set BorderPane to our window. So the window means we can say it as a primary stage and scene. Here if you see, we are creating a HBox as well. So this is the next layout manager, HBox, and the 15 here denotes the spacing between controls, and we name our HBox as HRowPane. And if you see, we are getting the children, it will retrieve observable list and we name it as HRowPane controls. Then we are creating an insert of 10, and to our HRowPane HBox, right, this one, we are setting the padding with this insert border. Then we are setting the spacing. So spacing we no need to set again, because here in the constructor itself we provided the spacing. And if you created your horizontal box, I mean the HBox, with an empty constructor, then you can set the spacing using the set spacing method. So at this stage, if you see, we create a HBox and we set an insert of 10 10 10. That means when you place the control somewhere, let's say, so spacing 15 minutes, let's say you place 2 control or 3 control here horizontally, the space between these two are 15. And inserts means margin is 10. So that's how it works. HBox, margin 10 on all 4 sides, then spacing between these two controls are 15. So we set padding as well as spacing for HBox. After this, we create a background fill object. So we specify light blue and we don't want any radius and inset. Then we make a call to set background on our HBox. That means we are setting a background color for the HBox pane, and we construct a background object by passing the background fill instance which we created previously. So this is background fill. Alright, now at this stage, this is for BorderPane and this is for HBox. So both the panes are ready. Now we will go ahead and add controls to this H row pane control. So we create 6 button instance for test purpose. Then this is the get children, right, for HBox. So here we are setting the scene graph relation. That means we are adding 5 nodes to the HBox. Later we will add this HBox to the BPane. BPane is the root node, right? So 5 buttons were created and added to the HBox. So here only 3 shown. The HBox contains 5 buttons. Next, we already have BorderPane, right? To BorderPane, we make a call to set top. This is the location, right? We can add only one control, but what we are adding here is a HBox. It's still only one node, but this node contains multiple other nodes. So we add this here. That means when still for BorderPane, there is only one node added, but that node is a combination of 5 nodes. So you will be seeing 5 buttons placed in the top portion of your window, and here you will be seeing the background color also. And since only one control can be added in a location, the control expands to fill the entire top portion. So the control means node, we can say. Even though the HBox expands to the full width, you will be seeing 5 buttons from left to right, and whatever space is required for the button, only that space will be occupied, and you will be seeing remaining space as a gap in the top portion. So if this is the top portion, and if button is all 5 buttons are filled up to this location, then you will be seeing a free space here. Alright, once all are done, primary stage we already set scene. Here we set some other properties, set title, BorderPane and HBox. Then we are showing that to the user. That means when you ask to show the primary stage, a window will be presented, and in that window you will be seeing the primary stage content. Alright, now we will go to the demo and implement this code change. So this is where we previously left, and we will copy the content as we did previously. We'll do refactor copy. We will name this as 06 BorderPane HBox. So we will remove all the content. Why? Because previously when we started our very first example, we used flow pane. Now we are changing it to BorderPane, and we will remove all unused imports. So if you see, the start method is receiving the primary stage. Primary stage is instance of Sage, and this stage is coming from JavaFx.stage package. BorderPane is from JavaFx scene layout, and scene is from JavaFX scene. So if you see the notation, this is all smaller case that denotes the package name, and that package contains a class called scene. So the class name always starts with a capital letter. So we created our BorderPane and we are passing it to the scene, and scene size is width 900 and height 506. Primary stage dot set scene, and stage and scene are ready now. Next we create our HBox instance. HBox is from layout package. If you see, BorderPane is from layout, HBox is also from layout. Observable list, JavaFX collections, observable list. Node is from scene package. Inserts, geometry, inserts. So with the inserts, we set a margin for our HPan, HRopen, which is nothing but HBox padding. We are setting it using the border. Then we are setting the spacing. Background fill is from JavaFX scene paint color. So this is for this color object. We will import it. Color is resolved. Background fill is from layout. Then we construct the background object here. JavaFX scene layout background, and we pass our background fill to this background object, and we give this background object to the HRopen. So we are setting the background property of HBox. So HBox background is set with light blue now. So next we are creating some sample buttons, and we are adding it to our observable list of HBox. Alright, next we set our HRow pane, if you see, to the collection, child collection, we added all 5 buttons, and then we are adding our HRow pane to the BorderPane, and the location what we choose is top. This is just a title and we are showing it. Now we will build this and examine the output. So if you see, now we added 5 controls, and spacing between the controls are 15 pixels. Now let us resize it. So remember, this is a HBox, not a flow pane. And you see the HBox for all these 5 buttons, preferred size is this one. Why? Because with this size it can show the button label clearly. Now when I resize it, it needs to diminish the button, and when it diminishes, if you see some button, it cannot show the label properly or button caption properly. That's why it is showing 3 dots. If you have a tooltip set properly, tooltip will show here. Now let's resize it further, and you can see how it reduces the button size. And after some point in time, it cannot resize the button and it will start hiding it. See, now you are seeing only 3 dots. Let me reduce it further, and that's all. The edge will start hiding the buttons, but the button will not go to the next line, and like the flow pane. Alright, so this is the HBox, and we added it to the top portion of the BorderPane. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.